Eradicating smallpox in 1980 and subsequent cessation of smallpox vaccination, monkeypox emerged as the most important orthopoxvirus for public health, although it is known to have primarily occurred in Central and West Africa. It is beginning to penetrate into other continents of the world, with America as one of the countries, and UK that is actually recording cases, and it has become a source of concern to everyone, stakeholders, everybody as a whole. Hence, the need to look into how the West is managing this virus. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. My name is Olukiran with the topic monkeypox and its danger. My guest is Dr. Gbenro Olukiran, a UK-based medical practitioner. But before we delve into the program proper, I would like to remind you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all of our social media platforms, and continue to share these videos as they come your way. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lukiran, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Joke, for having me on the program.
Yeah, so the topic is monkeypox. Explain in detail the genesis of monkeypox, symptoms, and why it was named monkeypox.
So once again, thank you, Vias. My name is Gbenro, based in the UK. So monkeypox was first noticed among monkeys in the lab in 1958, and that was where it names monkeypox actually came from. But it was not until 1950 when it was identified in humans. And since then, it's been a source of concerns because of the effect that it has on people. And it's a zoonotic infection. What it means is that it's transmitted from animals to humans, and it can also be transmitted from human to human. There's also the human to human transmission of the monkeypox virus. And the symptoms are more or less like the symptoms of viral illness, because monkeypox on its own, it's a viral disease. And symptoms will be fever, headache, muscle aches, and skin rashes. And the skin rashes typically will present between 1 to 3 days of the onset of fever. And the mode of transmission of this monkeypox is, like I said earlier, it could be transmitted basically through 3 means, from animals to humans, when there is a close contact from humans with those infected animals. And it could also be transmitted from humans to humans when humans have close contact among infected individuals. Then the third one could also be through transmission from mother to their fetus, or transmission from a mother to a newborn through contacts. So these are some of the ways through which these viruses can be transmitted, because it's found in the saliva, and also there's been a postulation that it could also be transmitted when you have contact with body fluids of individuals who are infected with this virus. What we don't know is if these viruses can be transmitted from individuals who are not showing any symptoms from this virus when they are infected with it. We do know that the infectivity, or the period through which these symptoms appear, is between 2 to 4 weeks, in which individuals who are infected with this virus can have these symptoms lasting for between 2 to 4 weeks. And within that period of time, they are able to transmit this virus to people who have contact with them. But we do not know if individuals who don't show symptoms when they are infected with this virus can actually transmit it. So one problem that we've been encountered with this virus is that we've known that it's common or is endemic in certain areas of the world. Like you rightly said during your opening statements, that it's endemic in Central and West African regions, typical areas where you have the tropical rainforest. But we do know that through human travels, these viruses have been reported in increasing rates in areas where they are not normally endemic, like in UK or US. So when that happens, then it becomes a concern, and that's one of the reasons why this forum is important, to educate people about what this virus is, how it can be transmitted, the symptoms, and how we can prevent transmission of this virus spreading across different continents,
Okay.
different countries of the world.
So, what kind or species of animal is the natural host of this monkeypox? And while you were explaining about the transmission process, now we know that it can be transmitted to human, but what I want you to give details about is how the transmission to human is done, having known the kind of animals that this is that has this monkeypox.
Yeah, so thank you very much. So usually these animals are animals that are infected through rodents and primates. And because the virus was first identified among monkeys, from where its nomenclature stems from, so it's usually transmitted amongst this group of animals, the rodents and the primates. And the monkeys belongs to the primate group of animals. And we could get, as humans, get infected with this virus when we have close contact with these animals, especially when they are infected. So when you go to the zoo, for instance, and you have direct contact with your bare hands or your body with these infected or usually sick animals, you could get infected with this virus when they themselves are already infected. And also when you eat meats from these animals, not properly cooked meats, it could be a source of transmitting this virus to humans. So can I get the second question again?
Yes, the second question is talking further on the transmission to human, but I think you mentioned it about the cooking of whatever kind of animal that is and is not well boiled.
So we do, from the way and manner in which this virus is transmitted, like I said, that you need close contact with individuals who have this virus, because when they have these lesions, usually comes with some pores, and the lesions, I mean the skin rashes. So when you have close contact with those areas, then you could get infected. But we do not, it's not been proven that through sexual intercourse, when you have semen or vaginal secretions and the rest, could be a means of transmitting these infections. But so because of this, we don't think that it is sexually transmitted, but you could get this virus when you have contact with the activities during sexual intercourse, like having contact with saliva from an infected person, or having direct close contact with someone who is infected, which are usually the acts of sex, but on its own, the semen, these vaginal secretions, we don't believe that those could transmit the virus, the monkeypox viruses.
Now, in the US, the community that is affected by this monkeypox, as it was said on the news, is the LGBTQ community. If I may ask, just why is this so?
Yeah, so I think for the reasons that I've explained earlier, that the way and manner in which the virus is transmitted, the risk of being infected is also dependent on how much of contact you have with someone who is infected. For instance, someone who has got the rashes, and then they have this blisters and the secretions, and the more time, the contact time in which there is with someone who has got this virus or these lesions on their skin, would also be a factor that would determine how effective I might say that it might increase the risk or the chances of being infected. So I think for this reason, we might say that this might explain the reason why you have it more among the LGBT groups in the US.
Okay, now could you please explain further on this issue of West Africa and Central Africa, where this stuff happened or started? Could you shed more light on it for the sake of history?
So I think that because these viruses were first identified to among monkeys, especially monkeys or animals that are found in, like I said, the tropical rainforests, which cut across areas around Central and West Africa. So it is believed that this monkeypox virus is endemic in that region for that reason. So we believe that the primary source of this virus is from animals, and then comes to humans, and then humans now start spreading it about. Maybe some certain activities among people in that region might have influenced why it is endemic in those areas, like wildlife hunting and the rest. So these factors would explain the reason why you have this more among people living in those regions of the world.
Okay, so let's quickly go on this break, and when we come back, we continue from where we stopped. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Let's Talk on DNTWOK. And I've been speaking with Dr. Gbenro Olukiran, a medical practitioner in the UK. Thank you so much, Dr. Gbenro, for standing by.
Thank you very much.
Now that the West is recording cases, how are they managing it, even though we know they have the resources?
I think one of the simple and basic things to do is to educate people, make them aware about what monkeypox virus is all about, and how to identify uh, some of the symptoms when they are infected with this monkeypox virus, because we do know that the simple way of preventing this transmission is avoiding close contact with individuals who have been infected with the virus. And by so doing, we can break the chain of transmission of these viruses. So the first thing that I think we have been doing in the UK is educating people, sensitizing health workers, especially because they are one of the vulnerable or the ones that are at risk of being infected with this monkeypox virus. So in my hospital, there's been quite a lot of emails going around to educate all the healthcare workers about this monkeypox virus. So I think it's one of the simple or the easiest way of curtailing the spread of this virus. When people know that it does exist and they know how to identify some of the symptoms or signs, and then once you spot it, you isolate uh, anyone or any suspicious any with your high index of suspicion, you can identify individuals who might be infected with this monkeypox virus. And by doing so, you can break the chain of transmission of this virus. So I think that's one of the things that have been going on so far in the UK.
Now, we know how this pox is on human body, and we know that some people die of it. Now, for the fortunate ones that don't die, do you would from your practice, have you seen anybody's skin going back to normal anymore?
Yeah, so I've not seen someone with the monkeypox virus, but from um, from what we do know that most people would survive when they get infected with this monkeypox virus. And if at all they have symptoms, the symptoms usually last between 2 to 4 weeks. And the most vulnerable groups, the ones who are young, the neonates, or people who have immune suppression, are the most vulnerable ones. And those are the ones that are more likely to develop certain complications when they get infected with this monkeypox virus. And some of these complications could be skin infections, infections in the lungs, which could lead to mortality in some cases. But in healthy individuals, it's very unlikely that this will be the case. So once individuals who have been infected with this virus recovers, the chances are that the skin changes and everything gets better, and they come back to their normal self, which is how they were before they got infected with this virus.
That's good because I was wondering if the skin is going to go back to normal because of the spots and all. All right, this is funny, but I must ask. Is rope squirrels, tree squirrels, rodents in Africa different from the ones in Europe, Asia, America for, for it not to be able to transmit such virus?
I'm not very sure, but I don't think so. But I feel like it's more of the areas where these wild animals are found, and also the exposure in which one of the, these viruses are more like a chain, because once there's a sick of those sick animals, can easily transmit this virus to another animals, and then it just follows that chain. So I'm not particularly sure about how that plays out, having those different animals across different countries or continents.
Okay, so do you have any final word?
So I think that on a final note, that the most important thing about monkeypox virus is even though it's very infective, it can people can get infected easily by having close body contact with individuals who have been infected, or having contact with their clothing or their beddings. I think one of the basic things that we need to do is to be able to identify some of these symptoms when we do in people who are infected, and also isolating them for the period of the infection, and also taking some necessary precautions like hand washing, making sure that we clean our hands regularly when we touch our eyes, when we touch any body fluids like saliva and the rest. So I think the most important thing is trying to practice good hygiene of hand washing, and making sure that everything around us are clean. And if at all we have to come in contact with people who have these symptoms, by making sure that we ourselves are well protected by using gloves and wearing all the necessary protective equipment that are available. So I think that on this note, it's just for us to be aware about the symptoms and be able to identify and take all the necessary precautions for ourselves. So thank you very much.
Thank you too for coming on the show. It's been wonderful having you. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
And to you out there, thank you too for being part of this show. I hope you've learned a lot about monkeypox. Of course, there is more to talk about it, and we always bring it your way. Until next time, I remain Olukiran. Bye for now.